Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Sade. Thank y'all for joining me for our astrology talk. For today, we are diving into what it means to have your Venus in the sign of Gemini. This is a pretty fun placement, and if you do not know what the planet Venus means or what the sign Gemini means, feel free to check out my videos. I have tons of videos on my channel, Hidden Alchemy, where you can go ahead and dive into whatever curiosity you have pertaining to this planet or sign or any other planet or sign you are interested in. But for this video, we're talking about Venus in the sign of Gemini. Now, Venus is a planet that rules attraction, how we or what we are attracted to, who, the types of people we are attracted to, and how we like to spend our time as well as our resources. Venus is the planet ruler naturally of Taurus as well as Libra. And Venus is just all about how we are in relation to people, places, and things. I know a lot of times people like to say, Venus is about your relationships and we think immediately other people. But no, it's your relation to everything outside of yourself. How are you in relation to these things, these people, and these places that you might travel to or reside in? Now, the sign Gemini is a masculine sign. It's the first air sign within the air element. The air signs are Gemini, Libra, as well as Aquarius. And it is a masculine sign. Not sure if I said that already, but it is masculine, ruled by air, and it is naturally ruled by the planet Mercury. So these folks are mercurial, in the mind, connectors, and the gift of gabbers of the zodiac. So when you put the planet of love and relation with the gift of gabbers, you have what's the word I'm looking for? The Casanova. These are people who can be very flirtatious and not really on purpose, just because Gemini in general loves to connect with people, loves to talk to people. Gemini is a very relational sign. So having Venus with a relational sign is going to just amplify the energy and the need to be in relation with other people. Now, the thing about this is Gemini is not necessarily a romantic sign. I mean, if you had your Venus in Leo, Venus in Taurus or Libra, maybe Pisces, that would give you more of the romance. But Venus in Gemini they're folks that need the mental stimulation in order to find that attraction and that connection to someone. So these are people who are really attracted to people that can teach them things, because Geminis are the students of the zodiac. So they love to be taught and they love to teach others. But definitely, if you are not stimulating them mentally, that attraction, it could just be on a physical level, because Gemini is the first air sign. And whenever you're the first element, you're more on the shallow plane. So yes, that attraction can be very physical, but at some point it's going to fizzle down because they are not stimulated mentally. And the thing about Gemini is a mutable sign. And mutable signs love to change. They know how to adapt, and they're very quick with movement, especially if you are a mutable air or a mutable fire, which will be Gemini and Sagittarius. You're going to be quick with your movements. So these are folks, now depending on whatever else you have in your chart, not just saying that because your Venus is in Gemini that this applies for you specifically, but these are folks that can take some time before settling down with a partner. And even if they are with a partner, because Gemini rules that dual nature, I wouldn't be surprised if these are folks who might start monogamous and might end up in open relationships, or might start open and stay open, or start open and turn monogamous. These are folks that are capable of adapting to the present moment. Gemini is very present moment based. Sagittarius, which is the opposite sign of Gemini, is more about the future, the vision. So what I mean by it might take these folks some time to settle down, because they need that constant mental stimulation. They are always searching for that in their friends, in their partners, the people that they have around them, especially if you are their romantic partner. They are searching for that. And if you cannot mentally stimulate them, they are going to move on and then search for that in someone else. Now, I definitely feel that this is more so when Venus in Gemini is not matured. I definitely feel that as this sign matures, then they can understand that it is okay to have one romantic partner, but you're gonna need, or maybe multiple if that's your thing, but these folks are gonna always need to have other people around them that can teach them, because one person is not gonna cut it. And that's really how life is, right? One person cannot be your everything, but especially for Gemini, a Venus and Gemini person, that their partner is not their everything. They get what they need from other people because they need so much stimulation mentally, because they are constantly learning on their journey. And that's something that a lot of us can really take from Venus and Gemini folks, is this need for learning and not feeling like I know it all or I know enough, but always opening yourself up to learn more, to meet and connect. Now, another thing to take into consideration, because these folks love to talk to a lot of people, they're very confident. And their confidence is not a form of ego, it's just a confidence in what they know. And again, bringing the sign of communication and expression with Venus, which is softness and which is allure and attraction. They're very confident in their magnetism, and they might not be the most physically attractive people, or they might be. However, they are aware of their gift of gab, they're aware of their charisma and the way that they can maneuver around people. So these are people that are going to attract a lot of people towards them who want to talk with them, communicate with them. These are very creative folks. So Gemini being the air sign, they're creative mentally, and then Venus being, beauty and fashion and the arts, they are going to be creative in the way that they express themselves. So that alone is going to attract a lot of people to them. So being in relationship with these folks, you don't want to be too insecure, because Gemini is very, how can I say, not shallow, but a lot of their connections, even if they're flirting with you, it might not mean anything. It's just them connecting with people, wanting to see what's up, and then moving on to the next thing. So being with these types of folks, you can't be the most insecure, because these are folks that are going to do what they want, and they're going to always attract people to them and always need to be in communication with other people. Venus also rules money. It rules resources in terms of the money and wealth that we attract. This is a poor placement for a Venus sign. And the reason I say that is because Gemini is a mercurial based sign. Mercury is one of the fastest moving planets. And these are folks who can make money very quickly because they have so many different skills, so many networks, but they have a hard time saving money. And the reason being is because of that constant stimulation and that need. When they make the money, they're going to spend it on whatever stimulation they are having in that present moment. So if they want to buy a new outfit and they just made some, they're going to go right ahead and buy that outfit, spend the money, because they care about pleasing themselves in terms of their stimulation. And their stimulation is quick and it's fleeting because it's a mutable sign. So these folks can really benefit from having a partner who's a little bit more grounded in terms of resources and more stable, which can help them to see, okay, you don't need this. Even though you might be stimulated by this now, you don't really need it right now. You can wait. But the great thing is, because these folks are very skillful, Gemini rules our skill sets, they have no problem using their multiple skills that they have to make money if they ever run out or if they're ever in need. I did mention before, this sign isn't the biggest romantic placement for Venus, but definitely depending on what else is around in your chart, you can pull, especially if you have a lot of Leo, a lot of Libra, a lot of Taurus, you can pull from these areas to kind of build the romance as well as the intellect, because this is what these folks are going to focus a lot more on, is the mind stimulation. And that is kind of the romance for them, how well a person can stimulate them mentally, or how well they can stimulate someone mentally. I definitely feel like a Venus and Gemini person is a poet. These are people who can really have their way with words and writing, songwriters, lyricists, people who might be singers, and allowing themselves to really express their arts and communicate their knowledge with confidence and with ease. All right, y'all, that is all I have for our Venus and Gemini video. Let me know if this resonates with you. like, comment, subscribe, and I will check in on y'all for our next video.